basic 20-minute practice. Come down towards the ground, starting on your mat in a kneeling position, using props if you need to, and spiral the tissues of your thigh bones inwards and lift the tissues of your glutes back and up so you can really widen your root chakra. Release your hands onto your thighs, close your eyes, and turn your attention inwards towards your breath. On an inhale, notice the natural expansive energy, and on the exhale, a rooting and a grounding down in towards the earth. As if your entire body was breathing. Soften your fingertips, your jaw, and on an inhale from your heart, stretch your two arms forwards and up, curling your fingers gently in, and widen your ribs from side to side, arching your right ear towards the right side, arching your left ear towards the left side, widening, feeling your side body get long, all the way from your waist, and preparing to come forwards. Touch your fingernails to the ground, hands in dome shapes, and just check that you're light on your hands, that you can lift your hands off the ground, pressing your head in towards the ceiling. Maintain this lightness as you shift forwards, transitioning to all fours. Bring your knees under your hips and the tops of your feet on towards the ground. On an inhale, the expansive energy, and on an exhale, ground your hips back and start to pulse to the rhythm of your breath. Exhale, press your thigh bones back and up. Inhale, reach and extend your heart and your crown forwards. Like a spring coiling through space, your whole body breathing and pulsing. Widen your knee to one side, roll over the top of the foot, widen the other knee to the other side, roll over the top of the foot, preparing to come into a crouching position and pulsing with your knees wide. Exhale, sit your hips back and up. Inhale, stretch your heart and your crown forwards. We're going to transition step wide, transitioning to walk your hands back, preparing to rise up to stand. Bend your knees deep. Bring your hands into domes. Stay light on your hands once again. Lift and extend your spine from the ground. Rising arms and hands onto knees, coming to recovery position. Back to the natural rising energy of your inhale, the natural rooting energy of your exhale. Press your thigh bones back and up. And we're going to step in, coming to stand with your feet hip width apart. Curl your fingers gently in towards the center of your palm. Expand the energy of your heart wide. Exhale, rooting through the tops of your feet in towards the earth. Inhale, rise and extend through your heart and your crown towards the sky. On your next inhale, stretch your arms forwards and up towards the sky. Touch the ceiling with your right hand arching towards the left. Touch the ceiling with your left hand arching towards the right. A lengthening of your side bodies, stretching up towards the sky. Lower your hands down to shoulder height. Turn the palms of your hands down towards the ground. We're going to pulse. Exhale, root your thigh bones back, bend your knees. Inhale, press your arms down, rise up like a spring. Exhale, root and coil. Inhale, rise and extend. The weight stays even on your feet. Each time you exhale and root back, bring your hands to touch, curl the fingers in, And hover your right heel off the ground, finding your right front paw and pressing it into the ground like you want to leave your paw print in the ground. And then you're going to prepare to lift your right foot off the ground, maintaining that activation all the way from your foot up your leg into your hip. Both knees stay bent, switch sides, hover your left heel off the ground, press your foot into the ground, find that springy sensation. Both knees stay a little bit bent, and then practice lifting your left foot off the ground and maintaining an activation from the foot all the way up into the hip. Back through center, lift your right foot up off the ground, step wide, lift your left foot off the ground, step wide. You're going to step back in, right foot rises, step in, left foot rises, step in. Front of the foot touches first. Switch sides, lift the left foot, step wide, front foot touches first. Right foot activates, lifts up, steps wide. Hands back to the knees, recovery position once again. Inhale, a rising energy through your chest. Exhale, root back. And bend and extend through your legs. Exhale, bend your knees, sit a little deeper into your root. Inhale, lift and extend upwards. Preparing to twist from the base of your ribs. Exhale, left shoulder comes to the center, twisting to the right. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, twist towards the left. With your breath, from the base of the ribs, the root stays stable, anchored back. And back through center. Fold inwards, deep pulses, reach your arms forward, stretch forwards, big stretch forwards, release your hands down to touch the ground, long side body, fingers touching lightly. And walk your hands forwards. Big stretch, wavy plank, bending your knees, walk your hands back. Deep knees. Walk your hands forwards, stay light on your hands, extend and stretch your heart, your crown forwards. Walk your hands back towards your knees, knees deep. And again, walk your hands forwards. Big stretch, keeping your knees bent and your sit bones back and up. And walk your hands back, hands into domes. Prepare to rise up, reach your arms forwards, lean your head back to rise up to stand. Bend your knees once again, fold forwards, parallel towards the ground, stretch forwards, lower your hands down, touch lightly, walk your hands forwards. Coming into a crouching position, step in, feet hip width apart. Knees stay bent. Find your deep root through the fronts of your feet and lower your knees down to touch on all fours. Lift your knees back up and practice lifting and lowering your knees while maintaining a fullness in your ribs. The knees touch lightly like feathers. Continue to extend your spine, your crown up towards the sky as you touch down lightly. And coming to all fours, release the tops of your feet down onto the ground so your toes point backwards. On all fours, roll your left knee up and open, rolling over the top of your left foot. Come back through center, left knee lowers, top of the left foot to the ground, switch sides, right knee widens, top of the right foot rolls over. A fullness in your ribs, still floating up towards the ceiling. Back to the first side, left knee widens, roll over the top of your left foot and widen your right foot out towards the side. Pulse, exhale, root back and up with your hips. Inhale, stretch and extend your whole central column forwards. Pulsing to the rhythm of your breath and switch sides. Left knee comes back down to the ground, right knee widens to the side, roll over the top of your right foot. Left foot slides wide and pulse to the rhythm of the breath. Exhale, sit back and up. Inhale, stretch forwards, back through center, both knees to the ground, all fours position. Big expansive breath into your chest, roll over the tops of your feet, lift your knees up and twist your knees towards the left. Sit down onto your right outer hip, sitting back towards your feet and prepare to lower down all the way onto your right side. Lying in a diagonal on your mat, shift your hips back with your feet and your knees stacked. Bring your left hand to the top of your left thigh and lift your left knee and your left foot away. Squeeze the space between your heels and your knees. Fill up your ribs like a spring, an activation from your feet, rising and extending, and roll onto your back. Reach your arms up to the sky and inchworm your way onto the center of your mat, whilst maintaining the natural curves of your spine. Your hands reaching up towards the ceiling, fingers curled in softly, and rock and roll onto the roundedness of the back of your heart, massaging the back of your heart into the ground. Lift your chin away from your chest, twisting side to side. And then lift both feet up off the ground. Place your hands to the base of your thighs. Activate your feet in space. Press your knees up into your hands down into your knees. And reach your arms up towards the sky. Shift your hips over towards the right. Roll over onto your left side, diagonal on the mat. Shift your hips back. Stack your feet and your knees. Right leg floats away from left leg. Squeeze the space between the heels and the knees, and the right hand onto the right base of the thigh. Press the thigh, the knee up into the hand down into the knee. Widening your sit bones apart. And preparing to press your right hand down into the ground. Rise back up onto your left side. Press your hands down. Bring your feet towards the ground and transition back to all fours. Tops of the feet onto the ground. Inhale, expand the space within. Exhale, root your thighs back and up, pulse. The whole bodysuit of tissue activating to the rhythm of your breath. Plant your toes in towards the ground, lift your knees up off the ground. Twist your knees over towards the right side. Lower your left outer hip. And without touching the ground, twist side to side as if you were about to touch the ground, and rise back up using the power of your roots, twisting on the fronts of your feet, and sit all the way back, as far back as you can, away from your hands. And imagine that there's a line drawing your heart forwards at the same time as you sit back. Back through center. Exhale, knees wide, hips back and up. Dynamic pulse. Chest and heart continue to rise forwards. Prepare to transition. Step wide, walk your hands back. Light on your hands, float your heart and your head away from the earth. And hands transition back to the base of the thighs. Recovery. Step in, standing hip width apart. Bring your hands now, turn them up towards the sky, bend your elbows and place the hands to the sides of your head. Feel your head with your hands. Exhale, root your hips back. Inhale, rise and extend. Practice continuing to lean your head back into your hands even as you root back and up. The central channel stays long and open. And arch over towards the right side, lifting your left ribs up towards the sky. Exhale, root in the arch. Inhale, rise and extend. Both elbows lifting up towards the ceiling. Lean your head back to rise through center and arch over towards the left. The right ribs widening towards the right. Exhale, root, pulse back. Inhale, rise, extend forwards. Both elbows aiming up to the sky. Lean your head back to rise back through center. Reach your arms forwards into a V position from your heart. Lift your right foot up off the ground. Maintain the activation. Small step back for a low lunge. Find the press and the rebound of the earth. As you press your right foot into the ground, there's a lift and extension up away from the ground. So your hands are reaching forwards, your head leans back. Switch sides. Left foot steps back, small step. Practice finding the rebound of the earth. Lean your head back even as you step forwards. Release your hands down. Bring your hands into a globe position, fingertips touching. And expand the space within your hands, your arms, and within your heart. Step wide towards the sides. Hands transition to the base of your thighs. Reach your arms forwards, extend forwards, long stretch. Hands touch down underneath your shoulders, fingers lightly touching the ground. Bend your knees a little bit deeper, bend and extend. Exhale, root, inhale, rise. The whole time the arms stay straight. Your heart continues to lift away from the ground. And walking your hands forwards, step your feet back, coming into a crouching position once again. Twist your knees and your feet over towards the left. Pulse deeply. Exhale, root knees wide. Inhale, rise, stretch forwards. Pivot over to the other side, to the right. Knees wide, hips back and up. Deep pulse. Heart and crown stretching forwards as you sit back. Coming back through center. Lower your knees down lightly, roll over your feet, tops of the feet onto the ground, back to all fours. And explore some big rib rolls. Spiraling your ribs wide to the sides, full to the back. And allowing your whole spine to spiral through space. Switching directions. Big movements, big breaths. Come back through center. And preparing to come back to our starting position, to kneel. Roll and spiral the tissues of your thighs in, lift the tissues of your glutes back and up, widening your root towards the earth. Release your hands onto the tops of your thighs, close your eyes for a moment's contemplation. Bring your mind and your body into this now space. Deepen your breath. Your presence, your embodied presence, and taking these gifts of the practice with you, hands to your heart. Namaste.